What's up, guys? Eli here, back for a new stuff video. All DVDs today, so pretty much horror, a little bit of action. You know what to expect, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start off with the Blu-rays. I don't have that many Blu-rays here. You probably noticed I don't buy a ton of Blu-rays. I like them. I mean, it's a good format and everything. I don't care that much. Like when I want a movie, I just want the movie. I don't really I'm not super picky on the resolution, and it all looks fine to me. So especially a lot of the 80s and 90s stuff I watch, I don't need it to look crystal fucking clear. I definitely have zero interest in 4K. Just throwing that out there. But Blu-rays are okay. I buy them from time to time. So we're gonna start off with this kind of obscure 1987 classic. This actually was a novel. I don't know if it was of the same name or not, but talking about The Nest. This is just a classic type 80s, I guess you could call it a creature feature. I've seen some clips. I've never seen this movie. I've seen clips and stuff. Kind of reminds me of maybe a little bit of Alien, I should say, maybe Aliens, and a little bit of a little bit of The Fly, little Cronenberg in there. But I've only seen clips. This is one of those cool like combo packs where it has the Blu-ray and the DVD. And we have from 1999, the third film in the series. I've never seen the second, so I'm not really sure. Probably had no business buying this, but we're talking about Candyman 3. This is the third in the series, like I said, Day of the Dead. Got this Vestron video collector series. Now, I had thought that I had heard the Candyman sequels were actually pretty decent. Then I remembered I didn't hear that. I heard the second one is pretty okay, and I've heard this one is trash. So I guess I ended up with the the weakest out of the three, or now four, I guess. And last Blu-ray on this list. I've seen this a couple of times before I bought it. I always actually really liked this. 2014, we got the houses October built. This is actually taken from a 2011 documentary, which was really cool. The people that made the documentary went and used, kind of chopped it up, used the majority of the documentary and made an actual horror movie out of it. It's really, I don't know if that's ever been done before. I think it's brilliant, and it's a decent movie. I actually really enjoy it. They even made a sequel. I don't know if the sequel had any of the documentary parts used. I want to say it didn't, but I could be wrong. I've seen it, but it's been a while. So this is a found footage movie, which in this case makes sense. If it was taken from, kind of Frankenstein from a documentary, found footage genre is perfect. And for what it is, it totally works. It's really well shot. I think it's actually fairly scary at times. Thoroughly enjoyable. And I'll move on to the action flicks, which you might know is something I don't buy very often at all. I mean, I'm pretty much strictly a horror guy, a little bit of sci-fi, but hey, I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I grew up with action. There was probably a point when I was a kid where that's all I watched. So, I still kind of retain some of that interest, just not nearly as much. But I've been kind of reliving the Rambo movies. So I picked up The First Blood Part 2, just a cheap, old, beat-up DVD copy. Yeah, Part 2 came out in 1985. And 1988 picked up Part 3, because why not? Gotta have them all, right? Um, yeah, Stallone and Rambo especially, kind of a big part of my childhood. So that character will always have a place in my heart. I even did a review of this movie not too long ago. Rambo: Last Blood from 2019. Not bad. It's not great. It's not amazing by any means, but it's not bad. If you're a Rambo fan, it's worth watching just for the nostalgia effect. Also picked up this all-time classic. This movie right here, huge part of my childhood. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, with this cool Some of these companies have been making these cool, like, old rental-looking VHS slip covers. And then under that, you just have, yeah. What can I say? One of the best movies of all time. I mean, this could be the best action movie of all time. I don't know if I'd say it's the best sci-fi movie of all time, but top 10? Maybe. Then I got a couple documentaries. These were totally random finds. I don't think I've heard of either of these. We got Halloween 25 Years of Terror. Really cool looking set, actually. So this came out in 2006. It's got 2 discs loaded down with, I mean, this would probably take me a weekend to get through. It comes with a comic book, which is pretty fucking cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Then another documentary from 2009. I got His Name Was Jason. All about all the Jason Voorhees saga, I guess you'd call it. Also 2 discs, loaded down with tons and tons of stuff for me to watch. It's got interviews with, you know, most of the people that have worked on the movies over the years, and I'm a fan. Then I got a small stack of Wes Craven movies that I didn't already have in my collection, starting with Scream 3. This movie came out back in 2000, and I did not ever see this. Not that I can remember. I've seen the first 2, and I kind of jumped ship. Not really for any reason. I think it was just because back then I still wasn't really a huge horror fan. Back in 2000, I was 18. I still wasn't quite there yet. I had a semi interest in horror, but it, you know, not like I have now. So, yeah, I haven't seen anything beyond the second one. So I got this. I need to get the 4th one. I think the 4th one is the newest. Or no, the newest one is just called Scream. I think they went full circle, right? So I think there's 5 movies in the series. Let me know. I also picked up this 1984 classic, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Remember these crappy DVDs? I still buy them. I don't care. Again, you know, I just want to watch the movie. I just want to watch the fucking movie. This is I would say a kind of a fan favorite. Top 3 or 4 definitely for most fans, just from what I've gathered over the years. This is probably my 2nd or 3rd favorite. I really do like this one. I hadn't seen it for a long time, and just until the other day, and I rewatched it. It was a blast. I totally forgot Lawrence Fishburne was in it. I totally forgot that what's her name, Patricia Arquette. Totally forgot she was in it. 1977 classic. I gotta be honest, I've never been a big fan of this, but I'm gonna rewatch it, and I hope to kind of gain a new appreciation. We're talking about The Hills Have Eyes, one of the earlier Craven films. I got this old rental copy. Remember with the yeah. I saw this years ago, decades ago, even at this point, and I didn't really care for it. This might be one of those movies that you kind of had to have been there to appreciate, and I wasn't. So I don't know if I can ever appreciate this like some people do. I'm hoping I can, but we'll see. To be honest, I really, really like the remake, the Alexandra Aja remake from the early 2000s. I really fucking like that version. And then I got this. I think I've seen this years ago. Like I think I saw this when I was a little kid, so I only vaguely remember it. This came out in 1989, and I probably saw it around that time. We're talking about Shocker. Uh, yeah, this I remember it being crazy, like absolutely fucking crazy. But I was 7 years old, so what's not crazy when you're 7? Um, really looking forward to rewatching it. I only really remember the part where the main character, where they put him in the electric chair and they attempt to execute him. I remember that part pretty vividly, and I just thought it was wild and kind of blew my 7 year old mind. But yeah, that's all I really remember from this movie. And most of the rest of these are just random ass shit. Starting with this 1981 kind of cult Italian classic, Burial Ground: The Night of Terror. It has had a different name originally. Obviously, it had an Italian name. I don't remember what that was. I wouldn't be able to pronounce it anyways. This is supposedly just a really terrible zombie movie, but again, it's like I said, it's a cult classic. According to the box, when this came out, this version came out in 2002, but at the time, I guess it was the first time it had ever been done well. I guess the previous transfer, I guess, just looked like garbage. So stoked to watch it. I honestly hadn't heard of this until the weekend. Then I got this is an odd one for me to have, and you're gonna laugh at this because I've never seen any of the movies in this series, so I picked up Psycho 3 just because I've heard good things about this by Psycho fans. So I've heard this is, I don't know if you'd call it a fan favorite, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. So I've heard it's an entertaining movie. I don't know, my interest was piqued. This came out in 1986. So this was known for Anthony Perkins, the guy that plays Norman Bates. He actually directed this one, as to where he did not direct the first two. So should be interesting. Really surprised that I didn't already have this, but yeah, Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys from 2004. Good old Full Moon Pictures, right? I'm a big fan of the Full Moon stuff. I mean, I know it's not all good. Some of it's downright terrible, but I love the Puppet Master series, and the Demonic Toys series is pretty entertaining too. I did not know Corey Feldman was in this, but he is. Now, this movie came out back in 2013. I saw it around that time, and actually, I really liked it. We're talking about The Sacrament. This is directed by Ty West, who's kind of been on a roll lately. He just directed that movie. What was it called? X? I think it's called X. Just came out recently. I'm hearing fucking great things about it, so I actually cannot wait to see that. This movie was really good. It's filmed in a found footage style, which is, tired and true, right? But I really like this one. I would compare this to, if you ever saw Red State, the Kevin Smith movie Red State. This is almost a very similar movie. It's basically a kind of a take on the Jim Jones story. You got the religious cult living out on the commune or whatever, and you get some people that go there to do some interviews, and shit starts going badly, and yeah, you can imagine what probably happens from there. But yeah, I'll be honest, I'm obsessed with religion and in religious cults especially, so shit like that, when it's done well, really, really interests me, and this was done pretty well. So if you like stuff like that, definitely check out The Sacrament. 2017, we got the Annabelle creation. This is the second one in the Annabelle trilogy so far. I hated the first one. I saw it in the theater. I thought it was absolute garbage, and I instantly gave up. I was like, I don't, lost interest in the character, lost interest in pretty much the entire universe, the Conjuring universe. But I have heard some of the movies since then have, kind of redeemed themselves, and I've heard out of the three Annabelle movies, this is the only one that you really should even bother to see. And so that I'll admit that piqued my interest, even though, like I said, I'd given up on the series. I decided I really wanted to see this, so I picked up a copy for pretty cheap. And another lost classic that I've been wanting to pick up for a while, and I've just been wanting to see this in general because I've never seen it. But we got this 1982, same year I was born. Q the Winged Serpent, the Larry Cohen film. Is pretty much just about this weird dragon guy that terrorizes New York City and kills people. Yeah, I've wanted to see this for a long time, so I'm really glad to have it. As you can see, Blue Underground did a pretty decent job. Yeah, this came out in 2003. I feel like in those early 2000s, man, Blue Underground were just pumping them out and really killing it. Obviously now you got like Vinegar Syndrome and a couple other companies that are, that are killing it as well. But from what I've heard, Blue Underground are still doing their thing. I just haven't really. I need to check out their site. I haven't really seen anything they've done like in the last couple years. So they have some competition, so they definitely need to, keep that quality going. So this one I'd never heard of until a couple of months ago, and as soon as I saw this in one of our local stores, I was like, I got to get that. This is an old Italian movie from 1974 with the Antichrist. So this had to have came out, God, right after The Exorcist, because I've heard this is pretty much an Italian Exorcist ripoff. I love The Exorcist, one of my favorite movies of all time. I doubt this could even compare, but if I'm hoping it'll at least be a decent watch. So, yeah, anyone seen this one? Um, Ennio Morricone did the soundtrack, so that's badass. Yeah, Antichrist. Picked up another Shutter original. I am starting to kind of see some chinks in the armor with Shutter. I gotta say, the first run of movies I saw from Shutter were all really, really good, and now I'll admit I've seen a few lately that are pretty subpar, but I've heard this one is a good time. So this came out in I think 2020. Got Boys from County Hell. This is an Irish movie. It's a vampire movie. It's supposed to be like a horror comedy. So funny, but yet still really bloody and violent. So I'm not a huge horror comedy fan. It's got to be done right for me to appreciate it. Um, I like my horror, you know, gory and fucked up. I can take some humor, but I don't want the humor overwhelming the gore. So I don't know. I've heard actually pretty good things about this. So I'm stoked to watch it. Picked up this. I had to as soon as I saw this, and I think I've heard of this movie. This came out in 1982. Yet again, another movie that came out the year I was born. Black Candles. This is another Italian movie, I believe. Um, Hold on. No, this is a Spanish movie. I'm sorry, but another perverse religious type horror movie, and I'm a sucker for stuff like that. So yeah, Severin Films. Um, Nothing special about this version. It's just the regular DVD. But yeah, Severin. Obviously, Severin's another contender with like Vinegar Syndrome. Severin is, one of the top names out there for companies that are like unearthing these obscure, horror movies that very few people have ever even heard of. So yeah, really stoked to watch that. Black Candles. And last but not least, the only newish movie on this list or out of this stack. I think this came out last year, or did this come out either late last year or early this year? I can't really remember, but we got Demonic. I just watched this last night, and I might do a review of this. So maybe I won't talk about it too much, just in case I decide to do that. But what made me blind by this was this is a movie directed by Neil Blomkamp. Is that how you? Is that yeah? Blomkamp. Neil Blomkamp, who you might know for doing District 9 some years back. I really, really liked District 9, as did a shitload of people. Honestly, I think that was one of the better movies in the recent 15 years or so. He since then hasn't really, he started off so strong, and then he went and did like Chappie, which I didn't like. Chappie. He did a movie called Elysium after that with Matt Damon, which I heard was meh. So I mean, I know I know the guy has talent, and I know he has a vision, and I really want to, I'm really always kind of looking out for what he does next. I know he's got some good shit in him. We just need to I don't know. He just needs to make it happen. He's a busy guy from what I've heard. He's got like the studio that he owns that he's always playing around with it. Him and his crew, they're always designing monsters and making like little short movies just to see where they can take it. And look up Neil Blomkamp on YouTube, and you'll find some cool stuff. You'll see what I mean. But anyways, yeah. So like I said, I think I do want to review this. So I'm not really gonna say anything other than yeah, I bought it. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for now. I'm sure we'll be back in a couple days. I don't have any other new stuff to show, but I have other videos that I wanna share with you. So as always, thanks for stopping by. Louis says hello. He's He's chilling back there, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.